Hello everyone, I'm back with another quick film review for you, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Bob Marley, One Love, directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green, written by Green and Terrence Winter, Frank Flowers, and Zach Balin. That's a lot of screenwriters, and it is starring Kingsley Ben-Adir, Lashana Lynch, and many more. It's a very fine cast. No spoilers, guys. I'm not gonna spoil anything here today. It is actually co-produced by several people with the last name Marley, including Bob's son Ziggy and Rita as well, Rita Marley. Now, I don't think there's a soul out there who doesn't love Bob Marley's music. Everyone loves at least one song. Come on. I mean, everyone I knew growing up had at least Legend, or some other compilation greatest hits, album of his best music. Personally, I think the best, the real magic of Bob Marley and the Wailers is in the live recordings. One Love is a look at the man's life in the 70s with some flashbacks to his youth and his upbringing, so we do learn some important information about his past. Now, the story mainly deals with Bob preparing for a concert in 1976 to benefit his people, basically, try to unite the people because there's a lot of conflict going on there, a lot of war happening at the time. And when he's preparing for this concert, he and several people, including his wife, are actually shot. He and his wife do survive, and then his fame rises as he writes new hit songs and goes on tour around the world. There's some backstabbing and some violent conflict certainly going on in Jamaica that continues on up until up until the next concert, the concert that he will put on eventually later on. Now, Kingsley Ben-Adir, I gotta say, he was really well cast in this movie. Sometimes you gotta wonder if that's all the excuse that a studio needs to make a biopic about any famous person, a musician or otherwise. I guess it's just it's really funny that all these great biopics that have come out about real life bands or singers, musicians, etc. Sometimes they just work perfectly, like say a coal miner's daughter or Ray or Walk the Line, and sometimes they just kind of stretch the truth and they exaggerate or they leave a lot of stuff out, and that seems to be the case here. But certainly not going to blame the cast because the cast is really, really, really good here. I really like the way that Kingsley Ben-Adir was walking, just like Marley. I thought he really was Marley. I really believed him. The way he looked, the way he talked, the way he smoked a joint. It's all very convincing. However, I also thought Lashana Lynch was also just an amazing standout here as Rita, Bob's wife, and also backup singer as well. She carries much of the emotional weight of this picture. I do wish the flashbacks to Bob's youth were a bit more intense, as they didn't really do anything for me emotionally speaking. And like one love is just, it doesn't seem to tell the whole story either. It seems like there's big chunks that could have been in there but weren't. Maybe certain deleted scenes. I don't know. We'll have to wait until it's a Blu-ray release, or we'll be streaming it online. It does leave you wishing they had gone further into certain areas. And it's inevitably predictable, of course, but especially if you know about Bob Marley and the Wailers, and his life already and what's coming, by the end of the film. However, then again, there were some audiences that I saw it with in the theater, and they were very much younger, so therefore, they didn't know, and they were actually whispering to themselves, going like, "Oh, is that it? Is that what? Does that just happen?" Like they didn't know, so they didn't know the story, and that's interesting too. I'd really, really like to see, people's reaction to this movie if they don't know much about Bob Marley, other than maybe a few of his best tunes, But Anyway, I just thought that they could have told more of the story, though. That's the thing with me. The predictability. I mean, that's not that's not the movie's fault, of course. But it is, a little bit of a cliched story, and the music kind of distracts from that aspect. It's like, yeah, we've kind of seen this kind of thing before. I mean, sure, it may be, mostly the truth, but at the same time, it's just the same old kind of corny story. The music is so great, of course, that we kind of forgive the corniness. Really the direction and the performances and the music, of course, and the editing too. It saves it from being just an average, predictable biopic. So I'm gonna give Bob Marley, One Love, a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely see it. It's worth watching one time. And, well, especially if you love the music. So, yeah, I mean, you could do worse out there right now. Uh, that's all from me, guys. Thanks again for checking out this quick film review. And until next time, peace.